Hi guys, welcome back to Bunny Designs. What I thought I'd do is just zoom in a bit. I had a bit of a comparison between the Derwent Metallic Paint pocket set, which are the little pans, and my metallic pencils. And they're really nice and shiny. So I'm going to actually do a page in Wondermorphia, which I've had for a few months and I've not actually done a page in it. And I've just realized I've broken my new rule, which was to start at the beginning of a book, and I haven't. But never mind. I quite like the idea of using the metallic colors, which I've done a color swatch for, and I've put them in a metal tin so that I can put the water brush in there, because the little plastic ones here, they're difficult to get the lid in. You've got to put the pen together, and I just can't be doing with that. I like to open it and I'm away. So I've put them in a tube one, so you can use your old lovely metal tinned ones to do that. I'm just going to see if I can zoom in a bit, because I seem to be a bit further away today. See if we can just get in there. No, it's not going to let me do that. It's decided it doesn't really want me to do that. So, okay, then we'll just leave it as is. Then we won't mess about with it. Now, I'm left-handed, so it would have been nice to do that. So I'll try to have it on a bit of an angle. But basically, I've put the little sponge, so I'm going to squeeze with this. Now, this is a new brush. They get a set of 4 of them. The Derwent water brushes, and this is the fine one. And I was looking for the little piece of paper. So you get a 2mm, a 3mm, a 4mm. And then you get the large chisel. So this is the finest one, and I only want it just barely damp so that I'm not scrubbing too much, and I'm definitely not squeezing unless I'm cleaning it. And it's the touch and go system, which I tend to think it's the best, because it's just easier. So if you are right-handed, you might go right to left, but I'm left-handed, so I kind of go here and across, and then I'm not putting my hand on anything that I've just done. So I've done a color swatch, and these top 3 of the 6 seem very, very shiny, almost like glittery. Very shiny. And the green one here, very shiny. And that one. So I think I'll use those for something that maybe the dial to stand out. I don't have a yellow, and I don't have an orange. I have a red and a pink and a purple. Normally you don't need, I kind of like that blue actually. I like the blue, and there is a metallic sheen to it. There's bluebells. I'm quite tempted to do the very shiny one on that, because that would look really nice, the ice blue. Or you could do the darker blue and the ice blue on as a highlight. You could use these shiny ones for highlights. That might be an idea. But I think I'm going to do this flower first, because it's right at the top. And sometimes when things go off the page, I like to use a bit of paper. I could use that. And then you're not touching and bleeding onto your next page. So I'm just going to use that. So which colour did I say I was going to use? Silly sausage. Which colour? I was going to use the red. I'm not sure if they're in the right order actually. So that was gold, pale gold silver, ice blue, blue, green. And then we had green, sunset, and red, pink, purple, and graphite. I probably will have to put them in. No, I didn't want lime green. Why did I touch lime green? Oh, I've touched it now. I think I'm going to do this one, the lime green. I think I might probably not be doing a lot of, oh, well, this is the highlight, that's the highlight, like I used to. My hands have stopped working quite a lot. So I think it's a case of just, and I've lost my thumb, so I'm using my hand, and I'm sorry if the light's in the way. See if I can get rid of that shadow so it doesn't drive you potty. That's the light being very silly. No, it's not going to do that. Don't be silly. No, that's worse. Oh, for goodness sake, Heather. Before lockdown, I was looking at lots of new lights and things, and then didn't manage to get anything. So let's just straighten that up a bit. Don't normally stop mid. So I think if I do the palest green one on there. And again, I'm working backwards, which is something I don't normally do. You always think you have to turn your page to be comfortable. It is a very nice point, is this brush. It's a little bit slightly different to that one. You can see the difference. It's wider and goes to a point. This is a very old one though. It would go to a much finer point. So this is still one of my favorites. I only just had a bit of a go with that one the other day, but clearly the barrel holds more water. So I've kind of put a little bit of a highlight on that, and that's actually a little bit shiny. Be sure at the end. So now I want a slightly darker green, which is that one. Now I can always go back and pick up a little bit of the colour if I want. I'm not sure if these are, I haven't read the instructions, I haven't read anything about them, I just saw them and bought them. So I'm not sure if they are light, well they may not be light fast. I'm not sure if they will move again like the Inktense, or if they are just very similar to the metallic pencils. They are just not for light, just to have a play. But again, the consistency is really nice. I must remember not to put my elbows on the table. And I have to say that, you know, I'm not going to play with any other colours, just these, so that I can just have a look and see what we can do with a very simple touch and go system, because I kind of want things to be a little bit easier. I kind of like that actually. I need a little bit of that to go on there. I'm not sure if you can see. There is a little bit of sheen, and I've got a highlight on each leaf. Let's see if I can just maybe sort the lighting out. I don't know why it won't let me zoom in. I'll have to play next time. Oh, hi Robin, hi Nanette, welcome to Bunny Designs. Just see, for some reason it's not wanting to play ball. So I hit that one. I'll have another with the Logitech. So again, need to look at my color swatch to see if I could find maybe just something to give that a bit of a shadow. And I think the graphite one, which is probably the nearest thing to a dark we've got. It's always good to do a color swatch, because you just need, sometimes you just need that. I don't think I'm going to do anything on that one, but just something different, which I haven't normally done before. I'm just going to put that middle bit darker there. This isn't the usual kind of doing highlights and things, and I've got a little bit of colour on there, so I'm just going to do the stamens for there. So I've got a gold colour, so I'm going to clear the brush, although I do like to use all the colour. I think I'm going to be using the red one. Which is green, sunset, and red. So that's the red. So again, maybe this one I will do variegated then. So we'll try at the bottom here, see if we can push it out to be very pale at the top. So that worked quite well. Let's just see if we could possibly zoom in. That's his number one. No, it's going to be so again, touch number red. So I think I've got a very bit of light on there, so I'm just going to go down there. I wanted to show that yes, even though you do lose your thumb, you can still as in it's still attached. Now I know there used to be a lady that used to say, can't see what you're doing with your thumb, it's in the way. It's going to be permanently in the way now because it actually won't bend, unfortunately. So I kind of like that. I've got a little bit of a twist on it. It's never going to be as good as I used to do, but you know, this doing this. Yeah, hi. Sorry, tried to zoom in, Robin. It won't let me. I don't think it'll let me. And what I normally do is I normally work like this, I think, just to make it a bit easier. Because you're not going too far away from your work. It's when you're doing this and going across. And I do tend to go over the lines now. So that's a photorealism has gone out the window. Photorealism has gone out the window. When you lose your thumb, the use of your thumb, it's just that bit more difficult. And if you just pick up a little bit, you can get the highlight. And I mean, I'm using a limited palette as such, but there's no reason why I couldn't. It's a bit difficult with this one because that's really shiny. So if they're really shiny, you don't have the same. I don't know why I've got the shadows. I can't understand why I've got shadows. I've got all the lights on. Maybe I'll keep these for lettering. Maybe they're better for lettering, I think, perhaps. Maybe I'll keep them for lettering. Or for cards. They'd be quite nice for lettering. I think we need that little bit more scope so we can darken this and lighten it if we need to, which we can't do because we just don't have those in there. They're not, I don't think they're designed for this really, but as always, I'm just going to always just choose something to do a bit different. And if you're quite lucky, you can get a nice highlight. Sometimes I do like a slightly smaller brush, just slightly smaller, just for a bit of so we've got, I think I'll keep them the same. So if it's a fairly large one, you can put in your darks, and then take that down, end up right at the top, just a very pale highlight. Oh, hi Samantha. Thank you. Thank you. Just trying to get back into it. Not working brilliantly well, I have to say. That can be dark under there. It's an easy way to work, I have to say, but it's not easy if you want to get some kind of bit of a highlight thing going on. My lights are playing shy at the minute. No, they're all going to fall. Oh, my lights are going away now. I think it's because it's got dark in England. It's quite dark, so they're all playing. Let's pretend it's evening. So I've got maybe a little tiny bit of a highlight. But I would think this brush and these paints will be really nice for doing lettering, especially with the metallic bit on them. I'm sure they were not designed for colouring in. And just by activating the tip, it keeps it damp. You don't get that whoosh of water, which of course we don't really want. And I tend to then just follow all the flowers. If I can see that there is going to be a bit of a shadow somewhere, then I kind of encourage that little bit. Now I can't go anywhere there, so I will have to go somewhere else now to put a bit of a dark bit in. And then when it's getting paler, come back and finish off. I'm not sure if these will reactivate. I'll have to try them. The pencils do, because obviously I use them dry, but I'm not quite sure of the other ones, so I want to go somewhere else now. Maybe even over there. And you can do that as I did with the roses. You can jump about so that you can use the darks and the lights and get some nice pale colours. And there is a little tiny hole about a pinhead just starting to peep out. I think these flowers are a different colour. These are a different petals, so I'm going to do them a different colour. Go back and put some highlights back in. Oh, you need some highlights. I think that one is that one. And the bigger the flower, the more paint it can take on the paintbrush. If I really wanted a variegated or a really nice highlight flower, I would use a rigger brush, because then I can go from dark to light, like on here. I can get every shade on here, but because it's easier, this brush just seems to be that little bit easier to use. Just going to darken that one. You can always go over it once more to darken it. This is what I call my touch and go. It's very slapdash. Even though I'm thinking about it, it's still not mixing colors and thinking about highlights and lowlights. It's my touch and go system. So this is the system that if I wanted to chill out, if I needed to relax, this is the very nice way to do it. And you've got this and you've got this and your brush. That's all you need. There's no water pot, there's no pencils, there's no noise. So you can do it in a hospital, you can do it anywhere. So this is the touch and go system. And you can do that with any water-based paints or your little watercolor brush, color book. It's just very calming, just serene, sitting, looking at a shadow and maybe thinking, okay, I'll have a bit of a shadow down here, and then I can have another one down there. And stroke the color down, and then just gently stroke the top, which is going to just color it and give it a little nice highlight. I think I might actually have to do them all the same. No, I might just get away with those three being blue. And I've got some colour on there now as well, so that's a bit silly. Sure, I can find another one. The things with the Kerby drawings, you always find, oh, there's another one, look here. Now, it would be really hard of me to do that, so it's always easy to turn this around. You want to be the easy curve of your hand. think I'm tempted to turn some blue ones in there. And I do have that lovely blue, which is next to the green, so that's this one. I'm not going to change colour. It's gone a bit purple, but because it's not too dramatic, I wouldn't do that in my watercolours, but because it's not going to do too much damage, I can do that. So again, underneath here. And then when I come back to that, it's a lot paler. So again, you get where you're going to make this little tiny dip. It's going to give you the very strong colour. And then, and it's practice the amount of darkness. And a lovely little highlight on there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but when I want to work with this touch and go system, it's just doing it for ease, just to relax. This is proper chilling out watercoloring. No stress on your hands at all. And it's just a very nice, easy, quiet way to work. And sometimes you actually forget what you're doing because it's just really calming. And this is what I did as I was in hospital when my husband had a stroke. I just sat there and we couldn't speak, so I just sat and coloured in using the rose, the red and the I think it was red and green. So again, you can if you started pushing the brush down and whizzing it around, you get loads of water. So I literally it would be a tickle. It would be a tickle. If it would be just a tickle if you were actually not the page, you were actually, because the more you manipulate the brush, the more water you get. Now this particular page is single-sided, so if we did go through it wouldn't matter, but a lot of colour books are not. You can't do this technique in a Bible page, on a Bible page, and you couldn't use these because you can tell they're very intense. The colour's quite strong, and it doesn't show it, but the colours are quite strong. But it's just a lovely, quiet, peaceful way to just sit for half an hour and chill out. It's not a masterpiece. You're not doing it for that. We're doing it for therapy. We're doing it to just have time to ourselves, just to chill out. But you can still get a little bit of a nice, lovely highlight now and again. And it's quite nice when you do. This brush is actually behaving itself quite well. I've not worked with it before. This is the first time I've done this with it. I have coloured in a couple of the little squares that I've used in my bullet journal, my diary, but not actually done it like this. Now, if you only had the metallic pencils, you could scratch a little bit of colour where it's dark, and then you could manipulate it with a damp brush or a Derwent brush and tease it out slightly differently. So you just scratch a little bit of dark here, and then you get the brush and you'd manipulate it around. Now I'm just going to see if I can scrub this to get it to move. So they're a bit like the ink tents. You do get the bit left. I've just got a thing right over there. Sit. So if you don't want lines like this, start and then just gently, don't let it dry out. But if you only had a watercolor pencil and you wanted to work this way, make some little squares. Just some little squares of colour on extra wet sketch book, and then you could pick it up with your brush. And there's a lot of techniques how to do that in a lot of the other videos. That looks like a pink one, but that looks like a blue one. So manipulate that round and then take that down for a highlight. And you'll probably find you can do the whole of this page, and you're only going to use a little pinprick of a pinhead of colour. So they kind of go quite a long way as well. So I'm a bit of a tight Yorkshire lass. I do like I like quite good quality, and I do like things that are reusable, or you can use every last scrap. I'm just gonna I just have to put my arm up because my elbow's gone dead. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Hope everybody's enjoying their day. It's good to be back. It feels very strange, but it doesn't. It's just like always, but I'm definitely out of practice. But I don't really expect you to sit and listen to my oohs and owls every 5 seconds. So that part of it is not much fun. And if it did dry, you could let it dry, then go back and think, actually, do you know, I want that dark. And you can just go back over it just once, just not too many times. And then you've got your shadow. You can always go darker. Oh, I kind of like the open ones. That's a little one up there. And it's dried. It's a very nice dry way of working as well. It doesn't, it's not like working on watercolor paper, because you've got to remember that you're not working on watercolor paper. So there's a dragonfly there. So I think I kind of like, I see those, that ice blue and maybe the silver, I think, or the lime green. That might look quite nice. But we'll just finish off our flowers first. I've got a really lovely highlight on that one. So I haven't read any information about these. I've just opened them and started using them, apart from my little colour swatch. But you can learn an awful lot from a colour swatch. I just need maybe a little bit of dark down there. It's getting a little bit dry, just pick up a bit more colour. So they're going to be pink. I think I'll have that one as a blue. I'll have that one as a Scooby-Doo. Now they are a little bit shiny and metallic, so again, you know, if the light's on it, it will shine and reflect. So that's something else you've got to kind of watch out for. So where are we now? Any more blues? Blues. Got some pinks there. I'm going to do that one. I think I'm going to do that one. Maybe the pink instead of the red. So I am going to clean the brush because a little bit of colour came out of it. Just going to pop that on. Sorry guys, my hands go dead. Oh, hi Samantha, thank you. Yes, we do need to stay positive. I just have to put this on because my I've got something called cubital carpal tunnel, and it means it's just like somebody knocking your funny bone all the time, and it means I'm not keeping the elbow straight. Sorry, it's not fun. It's just that you've got an arm sticking out. It's quite funny. You've just got an arm sticking out. I did say I was going to do that pink, which if that was the red, this was the pink. So let's have a bit of a look at this. You see, the more you manipulate the brush head, the more you get. So let's start kind of really down here. And under there. And I think that would be dark. And that would be dark. That would be a little bit lighter, and then that would be very light. Oh, now that did lift off because I went over the line. So actually you can maneuver them a little bit. If you're a little bit quick, you can maneuver them. So that's quite good. That might be pale. Oh, that's the leaf underneath. So you always have to, if you're not sure with a Kerby, for goodness sake, don't do it, because you know it's you know it's not right. So I thought that's sticking out at a funny angle, then I realized it's actually a green leaf. But I will probably get a shadow on that, so I might just get away with it. So yes, guys, hope everybody's staying safe. And what a very strange world we have suddenly found ourselves in. Very strange world. But I would think that our virtual world, which we had before, which is chatting online and keeping in touch with people all around the world that we'll probably never meet has actually become quite normal. Has come quite normal now, which is very strange. Virtual friends or virtual friends in boxes is a normal thing, not just for art. So as I say, it's the first time I've done this for a while, so not quite used to. There's another dragonfly. Don't think that's a flower. That's that lime green one. There's a lantern there. That's blue. And I've got pink on the end of my brush now. So I have to make a decision. Oh, found one. I think I'm going to do this one. Pink. I will ask hubby to have a bit of a play with the I think it's just my computer that's slow, so I'll just have to take everything off it and use the laptop. It's just that I managed to get another second-hand touch screen, and it looks almost like a very large television, and it's just so easy for me because I can't really I haven't done anything for such a long time. I have taken up the embroidery again, but and my granddaughter, I've seen her a couple of times, just through the window a couple of times. And she did come to stay, but now she's at nursery, so of course she can't come to see us. I'm supposed to have my jab next, hopefully. Extremely vulnerable. That's me. So once I've done that, I can have my granddaughter to stay. And she's such a big girl now. I think on the next video, when it's a bit lighter, I'll show you some photos, and we'll have an Alfie cam as well, because obviously we still got the Alfie and the two girls. We still got all the cats. Nothing's changed. Everybody's still with us. Well, Alfie's been an Alfie though, so he's been a terror. I think that is a red one, so squeeze a bit of pink out. There's a little bit of colour on there, but if you've watched any of my videos, you know I like to normally get rid of all my colour somewhere, so that it's every bit of scrap of paint I've got goes on there. And even this here, because it's Sanilia professional watercolour, that will cover 2 or 3 pages easily. It will do some beautiful colours, but I didn't want to mix it. I like when I'm using one thing to use it. So that will be another video of using scraps up. Red, I said, didn't I? Yeah, I've got a little bit of the size of a pinhead there. So as I say, Kerby Rosanes colour books, there's always a surprise. See, I've gone over because I just don't have a lot of control anymore. So you just have to think, hey ho, I'm still doing it, I'm still chilling out, I'm still here, it's fine. And I think I might have been one of the few people that didn't know right, so you can always go back and put a little bit more of a shadow if I want, and it has got a bit of a sparkle on it there, it has a bit of a sheen. So I was going to do those the bluebells, wasn't I? Yeah, they were going to be blue, but I might do this ice blue. So we'll clean the brush. And again, it's a couple of hours, so 2 hours to do a page that's fairly complicated like this. I think that's fine. Do it in a weekend, or you know, half an hour, and it'll take you the evenings after work, something just to touch and go and just chill. You're not mixing colors. If you've got the week off and you go on holiday, it's nice to mess about and do things really precisely, really finicky. But when you don't have a lot of time, when it's purely for touch and go, this is a really brilliant system. And it works with any water-based product that you can just, very good quality, that you can touch. Now, I did do this with the pound shop ones, and if you have good quality pigments, which are normally expensive, as a water-based product, so Neocolor 2s, good crayons, good Derwent watercolor pencils, Winsor and Newton, the student ones are brilliant, where you can touch and go because the color's there to start with. If you have a cheaper version, you've got a lot of binder with your pigment, and so you're going to get it a little bit wishy-washy, and you wouldn't get a highlight. It would just be a flat color. But then sometimes if it's a mandala, that's quite nice. So you have to pick the things. I might actually do those purple. Sorry guys, I've just decided. Let's pick on the purple. And again, just stroke the page. So I'll just do it on one, and then you can see the difference every time I touch that. So I've got 3 or 4 little colors on that one. So you're going in dark where it's the darkest, which will be under that one. I'm not very precise, guys, anymore. I'm a bit like a monkey colouring in. There is a reason monkeys don't colour in. They don't have thumbs. Or they don't use their thumbs as quite as good as we do. And if you've no feeling in your thumb, it's a bit difficult. But we have to be thankful that we're here and we've got thumbs. So I'm going to keep that highlight on the outside. And then if I carry on, that's going to make a lovely, very pale highlight. And usually I move the page so it's more comfortable. Always try to move your page if you can, because you've got to keep this action. If you're doing this or you're doing that, you're not going to get that lovely line. It's going to go like that. So everything's got to be comfortable. And then I'm going to go all the way up there to get that lovely highlight. And then I'm going to go back and just touch, oops, just touch that bit there. So I've got a bit of a highlight. And that bit there. You can always go back and just give that a little bit of a highlight. And we do have another one. So I'll see if I can see if I can lift that. So I've got a little bit of a highlight, and then there's the bluebells. Oh, sorry, not going to do well, am I? There's the bluebells. So again, just a really nice way to work. Now, if you wanted to go back tomorrow, it's all dried. There's some speckles on the red. The red is definitely glittery. That one is glittery. I'm going to clean the brush because I've got a dragonfly. I've got one there, I've got a little bird here, and I saw something else somewhere and it's gone now. But I'll do the dragonfly, and of course, because it's so wonderful, we could possibly put green on it and then put a pale gold on it to make it shine. So we'll try that. Where's the green? That's the green. Oh no, I used the green for that. So I'm going to do it purple. I'm going to try and use the colours that I wouldn't use. So he's got, no, maybe I made those a bit too dark at the bottom. So we'll make that one a lighter one. See if I can pick this up. Let's see what this has got. It is moving. And you couldn't do this on the beautiful, oh, what's the one I used to get that we used to print off ourselves? Oh my goodness, I've lost the marbles. Right, we've got purple, and we'll give an ice blue shimmer, but I've got a little bit of purple through that. Not stood out very well, has he? No, he hasn't stood out very well at all. So that was a disaster, but never mind. The lime green, I think that's what I was going to use, wasn't it? And he's very shiny now. It's a lime green. And so these colours are very shiny, very glittery almost, I would say, like dusts of glitter. His wings. And a lovely green as well. Oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you. I might have to turn it round. So I don't know if you can see that. Oops, the little. Oops. Oh, it's bending the wrong way, so I can't get the shimmer. That's all shimmer. It's the little dragonfly. See if I can squeeze that one out. Try my other hand, that might work. Again, I did spot something else. I think I'm going to put the silver, the pale gold, which is this one. I might just be tempted to see if I could get to make him sparkle. And then they usually have may want to make that one stand out. That was very shiny, that one. Now the clock and all the interior, I've got the graphite, I've got the graphite one, and I've got the pale gold and the gold. I think that'd look really nice. And I've got a bit of a sparkle on the other one here now as well. So the leaves, it's not going to be a bright page. That's kind of like a little bit of a blackbird. She's got a nest in there probably. Just found a playing card. The thing with the Kerbys is you find all sorts of things later on, but sometimes I'm tempted to go in and do things, and then I think, no, what I should do is do all the flowers first, then I do the leaves, then I do the birds and the animals, and then I pick out, there's a lantern here, there's the lantern, the wheel, there's a playing card. There's got to be something else somewhere as well, because he's quite naughty for putting things in to kind of catch you out. That is the red, so I'm going to go back to my red here, and because it's inside the cogs, it will be darker. That one is quite sparkly, that one. And then I think I have to do the red here. Oh, maybe blue, actually, maybe blue, but I know I've forgotten quite a few little red ones peeping out somewhere. And that's what the Kerbys is. You do the easy ones first, and then, oh, this is how I do it, and then I pick them out, because it just makes it just that little bit easier. There's all the green, but it's quite boring. But I think I want to do I'll just show you. I'm going to do, I'm desperate to use this sunset, so I'm going to use this on the lettering, because it seems quite, this one's called Sunset, and it's quite a sparkle. And it will be toned down with the ones behind it. And you probably see it's extremely sparkly. Oh, for goodness sake, missus. You can see it's sparkly. There's a sparkle to it, like the Dragonfly. That's it. You can see it now. That's the sparkle. So they almost look like they're illuminated. So they are different to what I'm used to, but it's sometimes nice. And if you were doing the Bible journaling, I'm not sure if I'm doing the Bible journaling in the books. I'll show you a couple of books that I've got. It's paper this thick, but for actually using on the Bible pages, I only ever use the Derwent watercolor pencils with a barely damp rigger and from a paper palette. So there's the minimum amount of wet and the minimum amount of colour. But this would be fine for, there's a few journaling Bible, prayer diaries and things that I've come across recently, and I bought 2. And this is something that, yes, I think I would actually probably pop that in there. And if I was doing any bullet journaling and just wanted to sit one evening watching telly, colouring in what I've been, the days of the week or something like that, these would then actually be quite nice to use. And with this brush, it's particularly nice for that. So, yeah, they look quite nice actually. I quite like that lettering. It's quite sparkly. It's just a shame I can't get the sparkle going. That's a bit better. So you can see they're almost illuminated. Now I have a little bit left on the brush and I have nowhere to put it, so it's going to have to be just, but there's not very much at all. I mean, if I did that, it's probably nothing. There is a petal there, so I think I'm going to do that one. A red petal. And there's probably lots of others falling about now in Kerby. There's always something hiding somewhere. Again, I'm not working in the most comfortable direction, which is probably not the best. Really, I should turn it to where I want to be. I started that one as a pink, so it has to remain a pink. I think I'm going to do that red with a lime green coming out of the middle. I think so. We'll have that under there. Seems to be a little bit more shimmer on this one as well. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Hope everybody's keeping well and keeping safe. And hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit of a catch up with the animals. And thank you for watching, and thank you for watching on YouTube. And I have found a way to read the messages, whereas before it wasn't, no messages were coming. Again, you can always go back and just put that little bit of a shadow under there if you want it. Just going to do that one pink. Going to have to be a blue one. Lost it. There it is. So these are quite nice. I'm quite impressed with them. Something different, which is always nice because I have quite a lot of watercolors, So it's quite nice, and I think they'll be really, really lovely to work with when you're colouring in your lettering. Very, very calming and very easy, and no mess, which of course is what we want. Oh, thank you, Spirit Joy. What I will say is, though, that the colours that they are lovely, and as you can see, they're metallic. They are a little bit of a shine, but then if you can see the lettering, sorry, the Roman numerals, they are really, really shiny. The only thing I will say is you don't have any yellows or oranges. These are the sets we've got. Some of these on here are not in this set, so these are the shiny ones. So we've got gold, pale gold, lime green, sunset, red, and silver. And then there's the ice blue. So the blue, green, pink, purple, and graphite, they're all metallic, so they're all a little bit of a shimmery. But if you didn't have any other colors, I would get a normal set. Derwent, Winsor and Newton do a set of and this works quite well, because I think these were quite expensive. This is a lovely set, and you've got some gorgeous colors if it's just for coloring. Let me see if this is the right one. No, it wouldn't be, would it? Winsor and Newton do this set, which is they do it in two different ways. I'm just going to open them at the minute. Right, this one is, these are full. Oh dear. These are full pans, and I do like this set, I have to say. Oh, white's missing. I've lost white. I don't know where white went, but it's gone. So this one has what I would class as the perfect set, and then they're very, very strong. That's a lovely set. There is supposed to be a white in there, and I think the £29. But as you can see, you've got every colour you could possibly want, and that is a lovely turquoisey green. It doesn't come up as well, but it is a turquoisey green. So you've got all your yellows, your oranges, you've got your pinks and your blues, and your butterfly. What do they call that one sometimes? Peacock blue. So that's got a lovely set, and of course you can mix your own colours. And then they do them. That's the set of 24, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, that's what I would class as my favourite set of colours. And I've done quite a few pages with this one. This is the Winsor & Newton full pan set, and I think you can, I don't think you can get that brush in it. I don't think you can. You probably can. But again, that's a lovely set. And the reason I like it is because it has every colour you will ever need, and there's not a colour you can't make. You can make olives, you've got these greens, you can make the greens with the blues and the yellows, so you've got another 6 colours there. Then you can add orange to them all, so you've got at least 9 to 12 olive colours from pale to light. So these are lovely for lettering, but if you were just having one set, Winsor & Newton do them, or buy them in the separate little pans and just have them in a little set. the reason these didn't come in this set, they came in this box, but I can't hold this, I can't open this box very well, so I've taken them out and put them in here. It is a nice little box, but I can't get my water brush in it, and I can't keep fiddling with this brush. I don't like it as much as I like these two, although it is the first time I've used this one, and it's held up as good as this one. This is the #1 Derwent watercolor brush. If you wanted to do work on finer pages or thinner pages, you could do with a bit of a rigger or a long thin brush. It's not a very good one, that one, it's split, but you touch a bit of color and then you manipulate it, and you've got it's less dry, it's barely damp. This is damp, this is barely damp, and that means you can watercolor in your Bible. Oh, sorry, metallics. Yeah, I what I did was I wanted to, in the video before. Sorry, Spirit Joy, I'm a bit confusing. I do apologize. My brain's not I had some metallic pencils from Derwent, and I thought they'd made these into pans because they'd made the metallic. Sorry, they'd made the Inktense pencils into pans. And when I decided I thought I'd have a little look, see what it was about, I saw that they'd got some metallics. And when I'd looked, they're not, the ones at the bottom here are in my set. But there isn't a good, there's some gorgeous colours for lettering and metallics. The only other metallics I ever had were the Tambi watercolours. And they were nice, but there wasn't as much color as this, because when you think of the pan, it's very thin, but that gold is very metallic. So yeah, that would be lovely. And I would put this in one of these little tins. This is a bit big actually, but so you can get a little tin with to hold 12, and I think I'm going to buy another couple of metal ones. But if I get it a bit longer, I can get the #1 brush in. So I've got, they're the colours for the metallic. So if you watch the video before that I did today, it shows you a comparison between, because I just presumed that these were these because they had the same name, but actually they're not. A lot of them are a lot shinier. If you can see how sparkly. Almost like glitter. Some of them are. The other ones are quite nice and metallic, but not quite as metallic as the original. Sorry, more metallic than the originals, if that makes any sense. But the yellow one here, you did have a bit of a bright green. This one disappears into a sparkle. So I always think that there's leaves and things, but for lettering they might do quite well. It's the first time I've played with them today, but I'm going to put that in there. I've got the colour swatch. I love the muted colours because again they're not going to be in your face, and there is that little bit of sparkle. So I was thinking that if I was sitting just using my little bullet journal and I just wanted to make the days of the week or the month, I could just colour those in using this set, and it just brings that little bit of colour. Because all my stamps, I've got hundreds of stamps, but I think they've all disintegrated. I've had them 20 years. I've never used them, which is such a shame. And now with stamping, I don't think I'd be able to stamp like we used to. You used to have all your stamps out, and then you'd do all your colours and you'd stamp. So this is kind of a cheats way of doing it. I bought some stencils, and I've got my rotary pen, and that's kind of my stencil, my outline. And I'm a bit of a Derwent nut, so I just thought that perhaps they brought these out, and they're the colours that are on the pencils. They are beautiful, but there's a little bit of a sheen, but it's nothing like this sheen. They are completely different, which I didn't think they would be for some reason. I don't know why. I just presumed that they would be the same, but they've probably tried with that this pigment with that binder to get the sparkle. Oh, that's fine, as long as I didn't want you to think that it was for other colouring books. But there's a lot of different products, so if you have a look at the other videos, I go through. I'm a bit of a Derwent nut, so there's a lot of Derwent things on there. Oh, I've got a silly thing on that, so get rid of that. So I must admit, I do like that page. I've done 3 different pages with this, and I've done it with the Graphitint as a pencil. Used it as a watercolor pencil, but the little dragonfly there is very sparkly, and then the other things are there is a sheen to them, but these are almost like not hieroglyphics. What are they in the Bible? The gold lettering. The brain's gone dead. The brain's gone dead. Yeah, everything. The elbow's gone dead. The thumb's gone dead, and now the brain's gone dead. So yeah. But it is a nice, simple way to work, and you've still got a range of colours. But as I say, I must admit, I'm a bit of a nut, because if I have a bright yellow, I can get a bright green. If I've got a bright red, I can get a nice brown. If I've got a really bright pink, I've got a bright yellow. I've got a bright purple if I have a bright blue. And if you have dull colours, which are here, you get duller colours, which, as I say, sometimes is really nice. And I've only got like 2 greens. Well, normally when I do the Kerbys, I do this one a pale colour, I do this one a different colour, and then I do that one another colour, because I think there's 3 different leaves on here. I can't do that with this, and I want to keep, so it is quite limited for me normally. This, you could always mix them though. I can always take that and put it here and put a bit of another colour to it. But today I wasn't in that kind of a mixing mood, but that's why I would put it in a tin, so that you could do that. And that's why it's in the plastic tin. That watercolor brush I find a lot wetter than this one and this one, the one that comes free with the set. And the other thing is, every time you want to put it away, you have to take the top off, unscrew it, flip the lid on, empty it with water, and then you've got to fill it. This one actually is doing quite well, and these have not been filled since I last did some videos, so that they do really well. That's a little bit sparkly, that. So I would do the same with the outside there. I'd probably put the colour on, and then where I wanted to put a layer underneath, I would put another colour on. You can build colours up on a piece of paper like this. You just have to let it dry. If you let it dry for 24 hours, you can go back on it again. But what you can't do is rub. So you rub one colour and then rub another colour. Oh, I thought that was a pair of scissors then. I've just realised, actually. So now I've got the gold. I think I might do the gold. The handles, the clock face handles. So I hope that was I thought that was English. I'm not sure it was English, knowing me at the moment. My hubby will ask me for a cup of tea, and I'll end up with all sorts between us. We're getting old and decrepit, I think. So I kind of like this colour. I mean, but in theory, you could mix every colour with every other colour on here and get so many. So I could add a little bit of darker, so that I've got a bit of a shadow. Kerby's books are quite good, because where he wants you to have a shadow, he's done lots of he doesn't do cross hatching, but he does lines and patterns. So he actually creates the shadow for you, which is actually quite nice. You could just go over the whole lot and it would be fine, because he's done a slightly thicker line at this side than the other side, so that implies that that's a shadow, and that should come out quite sparkly, that one. The more that you agitate the tip, the more water you get, so we don't want too much. And this is the gold one, this is the pale one, not the palest. There's a pale gold which is quite nice as well. I think I might do the screw heads on all the lovely metalwork in the silver, because I've used the silver before on the screws and it does look quite nice. I hope that was helpful. It is drying out a little bit, this one. Let's see if I can just get a little bit of, as I say, I've not used this brush before, so I've got some water now. I've got a little bit of water on there because just the other one you really don't need to squeeze at all. The other one, it just flows really gently. And that brush is £5. This one was a lot more. It was in a set. And it should really turn this around so it's easy to do. I don't know if you can see the shimmer on the gold hands. Let's see if I can find. I didn't put too much. Oops, sorry. I could probably put another layer on. So the gold hands of the clock really do jump out. So it is a nice gold, is that? And the Roman numerals are the rose gold. So they're, no, that's sunset. So that is actually a bit darker as well. So it should look quite different when you look at it. So that's quite nice. And again, dried almost immediately. So the screw heads, so I've done the handles. I think this would look quite nice, the pale gold actually, and then I could use the darker one to go underneath, and then it would look like layers, I think. Oh, thank you, Spirit Joy. Thank you. You're quite welcome. I will warn you now, there's nearly 1,000. Quite a while ago, I used to make quite a few videos. Actually, just about to fall on me, is that? I used to get carried away. I'm a bit like Ken Dodd, once you're on, can't get me off. And I want to finish the page because I know I won't go back to it, because once I've made the video for the book, that's it. For the page, that's it. So I think that's another thing that I've learned. And lots of people want to see the pages that are finished, and it's very rare I actually finish the pages. So again, that's probably something I should have put on my New Year's resolution, but I don't think I made any this year. I don't think I made any this year. And what did I say I was going to use? The pale gold for that, the silver for the screws, and then the graphite for the underneath this bit here. Right, so I'm going to be working backwards rather than forwards rather than backwards. The silver screws, I wanted them to be a bit warmer really, but let's have a look at the pale gold. Must be quite warm in here because the it's a slightly bigger space, so it needs to be slightly wetter. Now I don't think I've got the patience to really build up layers of tones under here, so I think I'm going to do this one on the top, just very lightly, just once. You can't really go back over it because it's quite wet and it will not like it. So we just, oh, and I've missed a petal, unless it's a very pale highlight. So that's under there. I may have to dull this down if it's too shiny, because again, I haven't really played with these. So we can't be too wet, but we can be a little bit looser than those lovely flowers. You see, I'm getting a little bit of a bubble. So if you need it, if bubbles bother you, you have to work very, very slowly and not as wet. But if you want to go faster and you want it, but it's going to be quite shiny, that bit that I've just done. It's going to really look like metal actually. So again, something I've never done. So I think we've had odd things that have been shiny, but not quite as shiny as this. Now this piece, obviously, I'm going to have to make the top. I'd have to make the top highlight. I think you just have to just take a section and I hate to think when you've opened it you just had a glare. That may happen actually. Got a little bit of water there just to give it a bit of oomph. I think I'm just going to go over that once. That's the underneath one, and that's silver. I really need to turn that over. Yeah, it's always a lot easier to do that, to keep that wrist nice and smooth. So going down there now, around there. I'm going to try these colours with a rigger, which is quite a fine paintbrush that's long and thin and is barely damp. And I wonder if I can get some lovely gold lettering on the Bible pages without making such a mess. So I think I'll have a go at that. It might be in a bit because I've got to, might try that. I don't know what day we are. It's an awful thing about the lockdown. Never know what day it is. I never know what day it is. And at the moment, I don't know what time it is either. So it's quite fun in our house at the moment. I do have the girls at home though. So we've got both girls. Samantha now works in a care home. So for a good 6 months, I actually just stayed in my bedroom and cooked and slept like a bedsit land. But hopefully I should be on the list very soon to get my my jab. I think that goes behind that one. No, it's that one, isn't it? So it will still be showing. It's that one. Now I have used quite a lot more of this particular colour, but not much more. So we've got a little bit there. Have you done that bit? So we need to go around that bit and that bit. And you could go in each one if you wanted to. I'm not sure if I... That's that one. So I hope everybody's keeping safe. It's a very strange world at the minute, and I'm not sure how long it's going to stay strange because everybody's at a different level. So, and that's the top one, I think. So again, it's a Kerby. It takes the time to move about. If anybody's got any questions, if you can pop them in caps, and then I'll take notice that I know you're talking to me, if that's okay. If we still have the same thing, is everything still the same, for goodness sake? I'm not quite sure now. Everything's changed so much. And so that's a top one as well. So that's one. I don't think I'm going to do another page with them. I might just use them for highlights, these. And as I say, I think I might just try them on the Bible pages. And definitely with a thinner brush, I think. Because, you know, I am really plastering this on, whereas when you do your Bible pages, it's got to be quite neat. I think I might do that one. Just sometimes if you're not sure, you have to, especially with, as I say, with a Kerby Rosanes one, anything can happen. So if we turn it the right way around, quite a lot of shine on it now. So yes, they're very metallic, are these. I think I'm going to put that one on top. And it's a little bit behind, but not that much. So if we do that one. And that one. It is quite therapeutic. It's still got that nice, peaceful edge to it, which I do like the touch and go system. Because you can do this on the train, or you can do it in the car, or well, you used to be able to do it. Yeah, you used to be able to do it. I'm not sure I want too much shine on now, so you can clean the brush. And I have the silver, which is very shiny. If I just pull that up, very shiny. So I just want to do this, and I might just do this one, and then how long have I been? It's coming on to 2 hours now. So oh dear, my arm's going dead. Yeah, I like the silver, and then if I can try, there's something different happened with editing the videos now. So what I'm going to try and do is actually put some pictures up at the end if I can. If not, I might actually sit and color this in, which is something I don't normally do, to finish it, so I can make the dark behind kind of really set back, and then that will jump up and put more green in it. But it is a fairly quiet, it's not a loud color. So we've got the gold, we've got the nice darker Roman numerals, and a little bit of sheen on the others, and then the silver, the top screw tops, the 3 I've done, they're very shiny. If you can see that silver, they're really shiny. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you've had a pleasant afternoon, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and I'll try to put a video up of what it looks like when I finished. So thanks for watching. So that was the new metallic paints from Derwent that I've popped into my little tray with the new Derwent brush. Bit of a Derwent nut, sorry guys. So I hope you have a pleasant afternoon. Thanks for watching. Take care.